We're live. Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Viking Arms. We can see there's quite a few of you already waiting to get through the door. So do let us know who's first up to the bar. Week 12, would you believe, of the Viking Arms quiz. I can't believe how much time's flown by during this lockdown period, but here we are in week 12. Wilson will make an appearance later on, and he's at least 3 or 4 hands now. He's enormous. So much time has flown by. It is a rainy, bit of a miserable Friday evening out there, but it's all quite nice in the Viking Arms. So come in and let's get settled in for an evening of quizzing. So first through the door, we've got the Mullet Gang. You're here. Les Quizerables are back. The Humphreys and the Hunts are here. Oh, no, sorry, just the Humphreys, just Mum and Joanne this evening. The Bradshaws are here, the Kennys are back, the Beasleys, thank God. I nearly broke sweat, Mr. Beasley. The Beasleys are here, the Humphreys clan. Is the Humphreys clan any different to the Mullet Gang? That's what I want to know. The Youngs are here, the Bonans are here. Thank goodness you're all here, is what it says in the comments box. The McPhees are here, the Emmets are back, the Whites are here. And we've got this message has been held for review by Joanne Humphrey. I hope that wasn't a rude comment there. It wasn't. It was about takeaway. The boys have gone for a takeaway. Well, we'll find out what the takeaway was or is in a little bit. The Breretons are back. The Tangs are here. The Humphreys are the same as the Mullet Gang. Newman Chimed, I think is what you're trying to get me to say there. The Rapplemores are here, the Baxters are here, the Milburns are here, the Fishers are here, the Durkoops are here, and thank you very much, Mrs. Durkoop, who's going to be providing us with a round all on Switzerland, not tonight, but maybe for a few weeks' time. So thank you very much for that. The Lockwoods, I felt a little bit bad because I always sort of, we ask these questions about, which you'd probably only know if you were living in the country. And then I remember that the Durkoops are tuning in from Switzerland. So they're going to have to get their own back and have a Swiss round soon. The Lockwoods are here. The Houghtons are here. The Passmores are almost all here. The Cliffs are here, the gang of 4. The Weatherstons are back. The Ashes have just walked in. Typical, probably, just as people are getting the drinks in. The Ashes have just walked in. The Rapples are here. The Mackie Peas are here. The Manly Wars are here. The Colsons, the Hobsons. My God, it is packed already. And I think we're probably about 3 or 4 deep at the bar. So we'll do our best to get you served. Okay, and the Colsons and the Coles and the Reeses are here. So actually,
that's a big gang.
That is a big gang. So we're expecting big scores from you then, quite frankly, tonight. So where are we at with this? So thanks again for joining us tonight. And obviously, by the looks of it, we've got so many regulars. So thanks for keep turning up. No idea why. The Browns are here as well. And as always, we've got my lovely wife, Tam, Mrs. Settle, who's here with me tonight, and the landlady of the Viking Arms, and she will be helping out with the comments boxes. And you are over the moon at the moment because
I got a shout out on the Mr. Motivator workout this morning.
How awesome was Mr. Motivator this morning? He was absolutely brilliant. And I did again, and we were sort of dancing along to that, and Tam got a shout out. So very, very happy. He was absolutely. We've just been watching it again whilst we were waiting to come on to watch this, to do this. But absolutely fantastic. So Reverend Briggs, if you're in the house, thank you for getting him on board. Right, who else have we got in? The Strides are here, the Farquhars are here, and Gordon kept biting me, says Eddie. Yeah, so I think I heard that Eddie was trying to dance along to it, but the dog was attacking. Okay, so special shout outs this evening go to the Passmore family for providing part of a special round that we're going to call Schools, and also to the Chowshies, who have provided a very special round on London. So again, to the Durkoops, very sorry about this.
Sorry.
but it's a bit of a London-centric quiz this evening. And hopefully, actually, some of the questions that I got said were really, really interesting. I think we're at risk of treading on the toes of QI. It's that good. And I should also say, because I don't know if the Brentons are here, but I'm really sorry. We are definitely clashing with Gardener's World at the moment. So
bad. It's very bad.
You know, I'm amazed that the figures are as high as they are. But thank you for joining us when something like that is on TV. So very quickly, let's go through the rules as usual. So if this is your first time, this is how it works. There are 4 rounds of 11 questions, where the 11th question is a chance for you to have a chat, make a list of things that I'm asking you to make a list of, and also to let us know how you're getting on. Remember, Esther, 10 answers only for that one, please. And answers, well, I'll give those out at the end, and they will be out of 80. As always, don't answer in the comments box. I will read each question twice. Try not to cheat, but enjoy yourselves and talk to us via the comments box. But keep it clean because it's a family show. Okay, I make that. It's just coming up to 8:05. We've got loads of you in the pub already, so we are going to make a start. And as always, we're going to start with round 1, general knowledge. So question number 1. This weekend should have been the Henley Women's Regatta, but what distance is it raced over? This weekend should have been the Henley Women's Regatta, but what distance is it raced over? Is it 1,500 metres, 1,750 metres, or 1,900 metres? So,
I can imagine Mr. Brown rolling his eyes. We've opened with a rowing question. That's not good.
I think that's the only rowing question. I had to put it in because it's so sad. Just driving around or cycling around Henley at the moment, because where you'd expect to see all the tents and the grandstand and the enclosures and all that kind of stuff, and there's absolutely nothing. It's so depressing. But yeah, so this weekend should have been Henley Women's. Question number 2. What is the capital of Chile? What is the name the capital of Chile? And Mr. Brown says he's a convert.
Hold him to that.
I don't know what he's converted to, but hopefully to rowing, because he realises it's a brilliant sport.
It's a brilliant sport.
Question number 3. The first successful vaccine was introduced by Edward Jenner in 1796, but which disease did it guard against? The first successful vaccine was introduced by Edward Jenner in 1796, but which disease did it guard against? What's this? The Kennys are already asking what's happening next week. Don't you worry, Patrick.
There's a plan.
There is a definite plan. I'll tell you all about it later. That's a cliffhanger, just to keep you watching the quiz, so you can find out what's happening next week. Question number 4. Who was the first female Prime Minister of Australia? Who was the first female Prime Minister of Australia? The Scotchbrooks have joined us. Problems finding the link tonight, but thanks to the 14-year-old, the Scotchbrooks can now say good evening. Good evening. I've been stalling. I had to make a slight start. I thought that you were probably on your way. If you're lucky, I'll recap the first couple of questions at the end of the round. Question number 5. In tennis, what piece of fruit is found at the top of the men's Wimbledon trophy? In tennis, what piece of fruit is found at the top of the men's Wimbledon trophy? I wonder, shall I pop those questions in? No, I can't. Shall I?
No.
No, okay. Sorry, Mr. Scotchbrook. The producer said no. You have to wait. Just to let us know which questions you missed. Question number 6. Which horse is the only 3-time winner of the Grand National? Which horse is the only 3-time winner of the Grand National?
A very lucky one. Just write
that
that
down. Joke?
It's too late on a Friday. I've had quite the week. I don't think I'm capable of jokes right now.
Where was that? Question number 7. All right, no, they did hear them all. Okay. You couldn't even answer those ones. Okay, it's getting might get a bit harder. Where are we at? Question number 7. BBC Three series Normal People is based on a book, but who is the author? The BBC Three series Normal People is based on a book, but who is the author? Still got that music ticking around in my head from the
Mr.
Motivator
Motivator video.
the BBC News music.
Yeah.
So good.
I'm going to hear the BBC News music now and jump up and start doing, like,
What sort of
doing the hand
this,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Funky chicken?
Yeah.
Number 8. In what Netflix series does actress Gillian Anderson play a sex therapist? In what Netflix series does actress Gillian Anderson play a sex therapist? There's one for the kids. If the parents don't know, I can trust me, the kids will definitely know that one.
I have no editorial control. I'm just making that very clear right now.
Question number 9. Which Beatles song was banned from the BBC because of its lyrics? Which Beatles song was banned from the BBC because of its lyrics? And we looked this up earlier. There's a few dodgy ones in there, I suppose. But
go back to the previous week where you were reading out lyrics.
No.
Because that was disturbing. So let's not do that again.
Is Dr. Tresario here? He's not checked in just
He hasn't checked in. That's a good point.
I don't know.
How rude.
I know. Well, he was on a good run, wasn't he? He managed 11 quizzes back to back.
With 81 points every time.
Yeah. It'll be the 1 week that he can't lie about his score. Question number 10. Tony Blackburn was the first winner of which UK reality TV series? Tony Blackburn was the first winner of which UK reality TV series? Tom Sharp is back. Well, thank God. How did we cope without you, Tom Sharp? It's been weeks. Welcome back.
But very polite, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gents, yeah.
Very polite.
The Return of the King. Modest. Such a modest guy. Dr. Tresario joining soon. Right, and question number 11. So I did warn you, it's a bit London-centric, and I hope this is all right. So, go on.
No, I was just going to say, the Dirkhoops could just give themselves
even the Dirkhoops have a good crack at this one.
Yeah.
Because, you'll get it one in a sec. Question 11. If you were to set out from Greenwich Pier in London and took a boat ride all the way upriver to Putney, can you name 10 of the road bridges that you would pass under? So if you set out from Greenwich Pier and took a boat ride all the way up through London to Putney, name 10 of the road bridges that you would pass under. Road bridges as opposed to just the railway. As opposed to the railway bridges as well. Okay, I just want the names of the road bridges that you'd pass under going from Greenwich all the way up to Putney. Let's say Putney Embankment. Okay, so there you go. Name 10 of the road bridges. Now, and if you can't, don't shout about it, Kenny, because
no, I can't.
Because what do you want us to say? Duh. Name some bridges that you'd find in London. Right.
Just love that. No, I can't.
You've kind of really sort of made us quite like this bit over the last few weeks. How are you celebrating quiz night? What's on the takeaway menu tonight? What's the menu for this evening? Let us know in the comments. How are you treating yourselves? What nice food and drink have you got going? Make us all jealous, like you did, or like you have done over the last few weeks. Charlie Bradshaw's first in there having homemade curry. We had homemade curry. It was a really nice homemade curry we had. Mm-hmm. We've both been suffering a little bit because I was getting a bit experimental in the kitchen earlier, and I decided to make homemade hummus, which I've never. I know it's easy, but I just never made it before, so I thought I'd give it a go. Way too much garlic, so we've both been breathing fire. Thank God it's just the two of us in this house at the moment. So Lottie Pheasant says, drive-through McDonald's. I hope the queue wasn't too long.
Filthy.
The Humphreys have cracked out the barbecue and have grilled some snags. The Slovakovskis are having sea bass with homemade chips. See what I mean? We asked this question. I've done this a few times now. The stuff that comes through here is incredible. Gruel surprise. The Scotchbrooks.
The menu's not got any better, we see, Scotchbrooks.
Sean Dickens takeaway for Mr. Bevan. Good evening, Mr. Bevan.
Nice.
Yeah, keep them coming through. Any interesting tricks? I learnt last week that, what was it, the Harpers were having something called a Gimber and tonic. I had to go away and look this up. It's some sort of non-alcoholic ginger.
Nice.
It kind of look like a ginger ale, but yeah. What have we got here? There's more coming in. Hot and sour melon and prawn salad, homemade burgers and fries,
Oh my gosh.
fillet steak, homemade chips, and a couple of Margaux. Sushi, Orwell's fish and chips.
My gosh.
Oh my word! What are we're gonna treat ourselves for next week.
Perfect.
Next week is a special quiz night, isn't it? What are we going to go for next week?
We're definitely going Orwell's, and I'm kind of thinking lobster.
Yeah, we're going to try the lobster. I think Mr. Beasley, you said it last week. We're going to try the lobster and chips next week, just as a sort of a end of term quiz night
But
thing.
Kenny's restaurants are open here, so they're going for Father's Day.
Oh,
tomorrow.
nice. The Bonanza have got some enchiladas on the go. Dr. Rosario is in the house. Quattro pizza. Yeah. Oh God, I'm hungry for a second dinner.
Yeah, the homemade curry is now feeling pretty rubbish, if I'm completely honest.
Right, I am going to try and stop salivating over this, and we're going to move on to round two, and I don't want to dribble over it. So here we go. This is our schools round. So thank you very, very much to Mrs. Passmore who sent us these, and it's a brilliant round. I'm going to give you, for each one of these questions, I'm going to give you 3 names. And Mr. Brown, I've got all of this under control. Don't you start interfering with the Viking Arms.
He's sticking his oar in. Look at this.
Oh. Can we bar people?
Oh no, you're not getting the rage.
The school round. I'm going to give you 3 names of famous people or characters, and you need to tell me what school do they attend or did they attend. So hopefully if I give you the first one, you'll get the idea. So for question number 1, Danny, Carnicki and Rizzo all attended which school? And I'll just give you a bit of a clue there. You don't need to give me the name of the film or anything, but what's the name of the school that they attended?
That's hard. I think these are quite difficult.
Well, I think there's a good mix here. There's some for the adults, some for the kids. So Danny, Carnicki and Rizzo, maybe one for the adults. That's question number 1. Which school did those 3 go to? Question number 2, perhaps this one is one for the kids. Eric, Otis and Maeve. Which school did they go to? I might be a little bit kinder with that one. If you can just name the program, that will do. Okay, so the school or the program that it's in. Eric, Otis and Maeve. Question number 3. David Cameron, Eddie Redmayne and Boris Johnson. Which school did they go to? David Cameron, Eddie Redmayne and Boris Johnson. 3 definite characters there. Question number 4. Ron, Cho and Luna. Ron, Cho and Luna. Which school did they go to? Dr. Zara, I believe they applied, but they got turned away. Question number 5. Ryan, Chad and Gabriella. Ryan, Chad and Gabriella. I'll take the school, or for this one, I'll take the film that it comes from. Okay, so I'll take the school or the film. Ryan, Chad and Gabriella.
As well.
Well, yeah, but no, because
if
you're of an age,
the wrong age,
you know, you probably get that, maybe. Question number 6. Question number 6. Archie Andrews, Veronica Lodge, and Betty Cooper. Again, I'll take the school or the program it comes from. Archie Andrews, Veronica Lodge, Betty Cooper. Now, the next one, number 7. This is definitely for people of a generation. Tommy Watson, Trisha Yates, and Tucker Jenkins. Tommy Watson, Trisha Yates, and Tucker Jenkins. So the Emmets and the Youngs. Oh, come on, you've got to get that one. Tommy Watson, Trisha Yates, Tucker Jenkins. Question 8. James Blunt, Benedict Cumberbatch, and Winston Churchill. Got it in one there, Mr. Beasley. That's the one. James Blunt, Benedict Cumberbatch, and Winston Churchill. Question 9. Alicia Johns, Daryl Rivers, Gwendolyn Lacey. Alicia Johns, Daryl Rivers, and Gwendolyn Lacey. That's a program?
Yes, but initially a book.
Okay, so give us the name of the book or the school or the program. Number 10, Bart, Lisa, and Milhouse. Bart, Lisa, and Milhouse. What's the name of the school? And then moving on from school, you go to university. So for question 11, what I'd like you to do is, can you name the 10 UK universities that begin with the letters B or C? But they also have to be prefixed with the University of... Okay? Can I get a yeah?
Yeah. I'm totally down.
So can you name 10 universities that are prefixed with the University of, but they've got to begin with the letter B or C? So Miss Rapplemore, you should be all over this one. This is a gift for you. 10 universities beginning with B or C that are also prefixed with the University of. UK universities only. Yeah. Okay, just to make that absolutely clear, UK universities. Okay, Miss Rapplemore, I'm loving it. She's away. She's in her element.
The pen is skiddling across the paper.
Okay, so whilst all of you who've just been looking at the UCAS website sort of frantically trying to remember the B's and the C's, obviously it's been a bit of a wet, miserable week this week. So what plans have you got for the nice weather that's due this weekend? Obviously, it's Father's Day on Sunday, just in case anyone out there's forgotten, to make sure you get out and get your cards and whatever else, pairs of socks. How are you treating the old fella this weekend? How are you looking after your dad on Sunday? What are your plans for the weekend? Make us jealous. What have we got on this weekend? We've got something very special tomorrow that we're looking forward to.
Taking Wilson to the vet?
Yeah, we got taking Wilson to the vet. So he's having his jabs. He's being chipped tomorrow because he's so massive now. He can take a chip.
Seeing the Humphreys, our social bubble friends. We're
going over to our social bubble this tomorrow. We're going to the Humphreys for barbecue. So we can't wait for that. And I'm actually going to see my dad as well because he's not very well at the moment. So I'm going to see him on Sunday, driving all the way down to Kent to see him. Hope you won't appreciate it, but I'll pop in. What are you guys doing? How are you looking after the dads this weekend? The Humphreys are having lunch with us tomorrow. Yeah. The Manley Wars, Matilda Manley is 11 on Wednesday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Will he go faster when he is chipped?
Oh God, I hope not.
I hope not. I really hope not.
Especially at 3 o'clock in the morning, like
what today. Is it? You know, used to when he was young, he was getting up at 6 and it was fine, just about. Now, as soon as there's the slightest bit of sunlight in the morning, so 3:30, 4 o'clock, he's up, he's whizzing around the house. It's just being an absolute nightmare. So yeah, and also he's getting claw. He's not got like nails anymore. He's got proper claws. So he keeps whizzing around and clawing the legs, but seems to have blown himself out now. So no one's got any plans for the weekend then, or you're all still frantically thinking of your universities beginning with B's and C's. Can anyone top trump that?
What?
Our plans, the vets, lunch tomorrow with the Humphreys.
Some
baking, going to see my dad. Anyone else got anything better than that?
I've got a new book.
New book?
Yeah.
Tam's been really impressed with me this week because I've been reading a book.
It's true.
I've been so bored.
I've
actually resorted to reading a book. Eddie's assuring us that we learn to sleep through it though, so that's not too bad. I hope it happens soon. The Ercoops have got an orchestra rehearsal coming up. Mr. Brown will be writing his reports. The Passmores are paddleboarding. What a brilliant weekend for paddleboarding. The Slovakovskis are on a bike ride. It's the 23rd wedding anniversary for the Cordells. So happy anniversary. So the children are cooking. Good luck. I hope it goes well.
We might see you next week.
We hope we do. But happy anniversary. 23 years. Gosh, that's a life sentence, isn't it?
I don't think that's the approach to take. It's a joyous celebration.
Sorry, dear. Right, we're going to move on to round 3. So this has come courtesy of the Chowshies, who are joining us from London. I think they're here tonight. I don't know, actually. She's not said hello tonight, so might not be. So here we go for round 3, all about London. Question 1. The number of capsules on the London Eye is the same as the number of London boroughs. How many are there? The number of capsules on the London Eye is the same as the number of London boroughs. But how many are there? Which is obviously quite a tricky question if you're not from London, but you can have a good guess if you can sort of imagine what the London Eye looks like. Give yourself a ballpark. I might give you 2 either way.
Oh yeah, you're generous tonight.
Well,
it's Friday.
The
weather's been rubbish. We need a pick-me-up.
We need a bit of a cheering up. Question number 2. The monument was built to commemorate which famous event? The monument was built to commemorate which famous event?
I think Mr. Brown's putting his foot down, and I think he says exact answer only, no leeway. I think it's...
Clarify for us. No what? No.
Just no.
No. Question number 3. London is the most popular tourist destination in the world. Didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
How many tourists from outside the UK do you think visited the capital last year? Was it 10.7 million, 17.4 million, or 21.6 million? So London being the most popular tourist destination in the world, how many tourists from outside the UK visited last year? Was it 10.7 million, 17.4 million, or 21.6 million? There was a bit of a flex here from Alistair. I walked up it non-stop.
Oh. That's like walking out of Covent Garden tube station when you get fed up with the queue for the lift and go, it's fine, I'll walk, and then realise that was a really bad decision.
It's a long way down. Right, so question number 4. Where in London will you find 1 Canada Square? Where in London will you find 1 Canada Square? Mr. Brown says no leeway on the London Eye question. Do you know,
Stern.
The thing is, just because you've said that, I might go 5-0 either way now.
You can't tell him what to do. You can't tell him.
Who do you think you are? Coming in this pub, giving your orders?
Mr. Brown, I would have agreed with you, but you
know. Question number 5. The Amazon. The amazing Shard is covered in glass. How many football pitches of glass do you think it took to cover the Shard? Was it 4, 5, or 8 football pitches worth of glass? So the Shard in London is covered in glass, but how many football pitches, or to the nearest number of football pitches, shall we say, how many pitches of glass took to cover it? Was it 4 pitches, 5 pitches, or 8 pitches?
That's a lot. Whichever answer.
Whichever answer, yeah. Question 6. Which London landmark has a width of 365 metres and a height of 52 metres? Which London landmark has a width of 365 metres and a height of 52 metres? I think we'll go soccer pitch.
I think it will be soccer.
Okay, so the numbers are very relevant, obviously, for that question. So it's got a width of 365 and a height of 52 metres. Excuse me. Question 7. In which London gallery would you find the Turbine Hall? In which London gallery would you find the Turbine Hall? And for the Dirkoops who are watching from Switzerland, I think you're probably the furthest out this evening. You know, if all these questions are a little bit foreign to you, then just think when you do actually arrive in September, all these amazing things that you can go and see whilst you're on your visits. Question number 8, Slovakovsky. Wilson, yeah, he's asleep. Is he?
He's actually here.
You know, same old thing. I can't have him on the camera the whole time, Leo. So he will.
Let's let him sleep for a minute. Otherwise, he's just going to be clawing us.
Good point. If he doesn't sleep now, no,
wake him up.
We'll wake him up in a bit. Question 8. To the nearest 100, how many languages are spoken in London? Is it 300, 400, or 500? To the nearest 100, how many languages are spoken in London? Is it 300, 400, or 500? Ah, good. They're saying they've been here, so it's totally okay.
Good.
They're going to.
I don't like the idea that it's, you know, difficult to join in. So that's good.
Good. Yeah. Question number 9. What country since 1947 has given a Christmas tree as a gift to display in Trafalgar Square? What country since 1947 has given a Christmas tree as a gift to display in Trafalgar Square? Mr. Brown, question number 4. Where in London will you find 1 Canada Square? Wales. Question number 10. What must currently be worn on Transport for London now, or you will not be allowed on board? So what must you wear on all Transport for London services, or you won't be allowed on board? And for question 11.
Mr. Brown, you need to wear clothes. That is correct, Mr. Brown. You definitely need to wear clothes.
You do. Right, question 11. I don't know if I should try and drop my accent for this one.
Oh.
Right, so question 11. I'm going to read out 10 Cockney rhyming slang terms, and you've got to write down the translation. So what does it actually mean? So 10 Cockney rhyming slang terms, what is their actual meaning? So for the first one, if I said boat race, I mean what? I'm not going to do it.
Go on, do it. It's quite funny.
What? I've been living in Henley-on-Thames for the last, 12 years. I don't know what you mean. So if someone talks about your boat race, what are they talking about? Second one, your whistle and flute. If you've got a whistle and flute, what is that?
Excellent.
The third one here, if I want a Rosie Lee.
That had a little tint of Australian in it.
A Rosie Lee? Well, it's not too dissimilar.
True.
Growing up, I used to think Michael Caine was Australian when I was a kid. What is Rosie Lee? Yes, going back to my roots. Yeah. Come on. 1, 2, 3. The fourth one, tomfoolery. I can't use these words in context because I'll give it away, just in case you don't know what it is. Tomfoolery. What is that? Loving the Oxford accent. Oh, see, I've lost it. I've been living over here. I've become gentrified. The fifth one, Ruby Murray. What is a Ruby Murray? Esther, you should be all over this. I'm not from Bexley Heath. Bexley.
It's very different.
It's very different. Thank you very much. Not from Sidcup either.
Sidcup.
Sidcup. Bubble bath. And I stress it hasn't got a TH. Bubble bath.
RF.
RF. What's bubble bath? The seventh one is brown bread. And it's not brown bread, it's bran bread. Bran bread.
How are we spelling bran?
Bran bread.
Ah.
Number 8 here is bangers and mash. Bangers and mash. Number 9, cash and carried. Mr. Parcel, I'm from Bexley. Yeah. Cash and carried was number 9 there. And the last one in this little round, bread and honey. What is bread and honey? Okay, so a bit with that one. So we're going to move on to round. What are we on? Is this round 3 or 4? We've lost track.
4.
We're on round 4. God, we're flying through the quiz. Right, round 4. So we've figured that we've been going around the world over the last few weeks. So we thought we'd give Spain a go tonight. We're off to Spain. We'll be off to Switzerland in a few weeks' time. Thank you to the Durkoops. But tonight we are off to Spain. And so for question 1 in our Spanish round, before the euro, what was the currency of Spain?
Where? Are we still on the previous round? Do it again. Where?
Sorry, dear. Before the euro, what was the currency of Spain?
Spain.
Spain.
Lovely.
Oh, dear. Question number 2. What is the main religion in Spain? What is the main religion in Spain? Oh dear. Right, question number 3. In which city would you find the Plaza de España? I think I'm saying that right. In which city would you find the Plaza de España? So I'll tell you who will be all over this one is Mackie P Senior. He loves a bit of Spain. I think he was virtually brought up over there, actually. You can tell us a bit more about that, Hugh. Question number 4. La Sagrada Familia in Barcelona began construction in 1882, but when is it due to be completed? Is it 2026, 2036, or 2046? The La Sagrada Familia in Barcelona began construction in 1882, but when is it due to be completed? 2026, 2036, or 2046? Question number 5. Apart from the eggs, what is the main ingredient in a Spanish omelette? Apart from the eggs, what is the main ingredient in a Spanish omelette? And we had a go at making one of those earlier today, didn't we?
I think we actually did make it. We didn't just have a go at it.
We did, but...
Only asked you to peel a couple of things.
I haven't peeled any potatoes. Ah! Oh, God. Moving on. Question 6. Which Spanish city is known as the city of 3 cultures? Which Spanish city is known as the city of 3 cultures? I've gone 12 weeks and I haven't done that once. 3
points for everybody.
I have a 3 point, everyone. Anyway, yeah, I haven't peeled any for ages and I just peeled the top off my finger in doing it. It was horrible. Anyway, which Spanish city is known as the city of 3 cultures? Question number 7. Spain shares a land border with Portugal, France, and which other country? Spain shares a land border with Portugal, France, and which other country? And question number 8. Which famous artist was born in... Which famous artist was born in Andalusia in 1881? Which famous artist was born in Andalusia in 1881? Thank you, Mr. Brown. Yeah, just trying to take the attention off me there. Question number 9. In which year were the Barcelona Olympics held? In which year were the Barcelona Olympics held, for number 9? And question number 10. If I am asking for a cerveza, I think a cerveza, what do I want? If I am asking for a cerveza, what do I want?
Language lessons?
Cerveza. I'll just have what it says there.
Point.
Cerveza.
Pointing.
If I want a cerveza, what do I want? And finally tonight, question number 11. Can you name the top 10? So bearing in mind, the summer holidays are coming up. We're all kind of wishing that we could go away somewhere nice. We can just start over the next few questions. We can start thinking about this. Can you name the top 10 Spanish islands visited by tourists? And that's ranked according to the number of visitors they get a year. So where are the top 10 Spanish islands that are visited by tourists? Can you name the top 10?
I'm waiting for Patrick Kenny to go, no, I can't.
No, I can't. If it's not Jersey, I don't care.
I don't care.
And as I said, holiday season is upon us. So just, as a sort of places that we wish that we could go back to, where's the most amazing, if you want to comment here, where's the most stunning place you've ever been to on a holiday? So where do you wish you could go back to? If we were allowed to just fly off and do whatever we wanted now, where would be the most amazing place or the most stunning place that you've ever been to? So where would be yours, Tam?
Well, that's a tricky question because it's a difference between where would I just really like to go right now or genuinely...
The most stunning place you've ever been to?
Switzerland.
Which bit?
On the Swiss-Italian border.
Oh, like Davos around there? Is that...
It wasn't Davos. No, my aunt lives at the top of one of the lakes on the Swiss side, and you can get the boat and you go down on the boat into Italy, and the food's beautiful and it's just gorgeous.
I've got some brilliant suggestions coming through here. It's headed up by Slough.
Mr. Beasley.
The Maldives,
Yeah.
Iceland,
I've been to Maldives,
New Zealand, Bali, the beautiful shores of Australia. What's NSW? New South Wales, New Zealand.
The Scotch books have gone mad.
The Isle of Sheppey. In a particular light, that's lovely. Hull.
Oh, we know how to live.
Australia, Turkey, Vietnam, the Isles of Scilly, Lake Como. I love Lake Como. Brilliant there. Took my sister there to Milan years ago. Dragged her around Como like a chain around my ankle. But anyway, this live stream. Japan, New Zealand, Bangor, Grimethorpe, the Andros Island, Bahamas, Scotch, the Dark, Cornwall, Mauritius. I hope I'm not taking you away from the question, which is to name the top 10 Spanish islands visited by tourists. I think my most stunning place I've ever been to would probably be...
Mrs. Young's coming at the end.
Southwold, that is nice.
Cool.
We'd be very happy to be in Southwold right now. I know, probably most exotic, like nice. Actually, I really like when we did a rowing trip out to San Francisco. That was really cool. It's really nice looking over the bay there. That's really cool.
And do you know what I would genuinely take right now as the most beautiful place?
Go on.
Henley with all of the blue and white tents up.
Yeah, true. We had a little picnic there a couple of days ago, didn't we? It was sad. Very, very sad. Anyway, now we've made you realise how rubbish life is because you can't go to any of these places. Let's start wrapping this up. So before I go through the answers, as always, thank you so much for joining us again this evening. We hope you've had your time in the Vikings. We will be back next Friday. So I'm going to give you some details about that. Some instructions. like the 1950s holiday camp that this is. I'm going to give you some details of what's going on next week, and then I'll go through the answers. So we will be back next week. Obviously, next week is speech day. It's the prize giving ceremony, and we did try and kick them out of the way, but they've insisted of a later start. So we will be starting at the slightly later time of 8:30 p.m. So that's immediately after the prize giving is finished next Friday evening. So half an hour later, 8:30 next Friday. It is speech day and it's the last day of term, so it's a bit special. We're going to try and make it a bit special. I'm told by the producer here that the producer will be on camera next week, and we'll both dress up for the occasion as well. It's going to be a bit like our version of the Leavers do, but it's the quiz night instead. Okay, so we'll be dressing up. And yes, as Mr. Brown did mention earlier, if you want to dress up and sort of make yourselves sort of feel a bit special next Friday, send us some pictures in. We'll share, you know who you all are now. We've got the same regulars every week. So if you want to send us some pictures of how you're celebrating or how you're dressing up for the occasion, we'll share the photos so you can actually see what each other looks like as well during the quiz. We will do that. So we can make a bit of a nice evening of it, even though we're still stuck at home and not sort of in the nice big marquee for the actual speech day that we would normally have. So
good question, Patrick. There will be definitely a few very specific.
Yeah, we will make it as special as we can. Okay, so here we go. The answers for tonight, and I'll whiz through these. So question 1 of the general knowledge round. Henley Women's Regatta is held over 1,500 meters. The capital of Chile is Santiago. Edward Jenner, the disease that he was guarding against was smallpox. The first female Prime Minister of Australia was Julia Gillard. The piece of fruit on top of the men's Wimbledon trophy is a pineapple. The horse which won the 3-time winner of the Grand National was Red Rum. Normal People was written by Sally Rooney. Gillian Anderson plays a sex therapist in Sex Education. The Beatles song banned for its lyrics was I Am the Walrus. Tony Blackburn was the first winner of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. If you set off from Greenwich and take a boat ride to Putney, name 10 of the road bridges. So 10 of these. You start off with Tower. You don't have to go in this order, but you've just got to name 10 of these bridges. So, but it starts off, you'd go under Tower Bridge, then London Bridge, Southwark, Blackfriars, Waterloo, Westminster, Lambeth, Vauxhall, Chelsea, Albert, Battersea, Wandsworth, and finally Putney. So if you've got any 10 of those, very well done. I'll just read those one more time. Tower, London, Southwark, Blackfriars, Waterloo, Westminster, Lambeth, Vauxhall, Chelsea, Albert, Battersea, Wandsworth, and Putney. What now?
It sounds like your version of the shipping forecast.
Oh, thanks very much. Okay, where did these people go to school? Danny, Kanicki, and Rizzo, they went to Rydell High in Greece. Not in the country Greece, in the film Greece, Rydell High. Eric, Otis, and Maeve went to Moordale, and that's in Sex Education. David Cameron, Eddie Redmayne, and Boris Johnson went to Eton College. Ron, Cho, and Luna were all in Hogwarts. Ryan, Chad, and Gabriella were all in East High, which is from High School Musical. So either one of those. Archie Andrews, Veronica Lodge, and Betty Cooper are from Riverdale High in Riverdale. Tommy Watson, Trisha Yates, and Tucker Jenkins are all Grange Hill.
Oh, Grange Hill.
Just say no. James Blunt, Benedict Cumberbatch, and Winston Churchill all went to Harrow. Alicia Johns, Darrell Rivers, Gwendolyn Lacey are all Mallory Towers. And Bart, Lisa, and Millhouse are all Springfield Elementary because they are the Simpsons. And then you needed to come up with 10 universities which begin with B or C, but are also prefixed with University of. So you could have Bath, Bedfordshire, Bolton, Birmingham, Bradford, Brighton, Bristol, Cambridge, Central Lancashire, Chester, Chichester, and Cumbria.
the weirdest train announcement I've ever heard.
I know. I had no idea some of these places existed, but there we are. Anyway, Bath, no offence if you went to any, I'm not going to tell you which ones I didn't know, but anyway, Bath, Bedfordshire, Bolton, Birmingham, Bradford, Brighton, Bristol, Cambridge, Central Lancashire, Chester, Chichester and Cumbria. Into our London round, you had, so how many capsules on the London Eye? There are 32. I'll give you anywhere between 30 and 34. I'm not sure it's the University of Bangor, Dr. Rosario. Anyway, I think it's just Bangor. Yeah, so there are 32. You can have anywhere between 30 and 34. The monument was built to commemorate the Great Fire of London. The number of tourists visiting London last year was 17.4 million. Where in London is 1 Canada Square? That is at Canary Wharf. The Shard is covered in the equivalent of 8 football pitches worth of glass. That's a lot, isn't it? 8 football pitches worth of glass. The landmark with a width of 365 meters and a height of 52 meters is the Millennium Dome, or the O2. I don't think you can have Cardiff because it's not the University of Cardiff, it's just Cardiff University. Question 7. In which London gallery would you find the Turbine Hall? That is the Tate Modern. How many languages are spoken in London? 300. To the nearest 100 is 300 languages. Which country has been giving London a Christmas tree since 1947? That is Norway. And what must you wear on London transport apart from your clothes? You've now got to wear a mouth and nose covering, or a face mask of some sort. A face covering or a mask of some sort. The 10 Cockney rhyming slang. So a boat race is your face. Your whistle and flute is the suit. Rosie Lee for tea. Tomfoolery, jewellery. Ruby Murray is a curry. Bubble bath is a laugh. Brown bread, dead. Bangers and mash, cash. Cash and carried is married. And bread and honey is money. Onto our Spain round. Before the euro, what was the currency of Spain? It was the peseta. The main religion in Spain is Catholic or Catholicism. Where would you find the Plaza de España? It's in Seville. The La Sagrada Familia is due to be finished in 2026. The main ingredient in a Spanish omelette is potatoes. Which Spanish city is known as the City of Three Cultures? Is Madrid. Spain shares a land border with Portugal, France, and the third country is Andorra. Which famous artist was born in Andalusia in 1881 was Pablo Picasso. The Barcelona Olympics were held in 1992. If I'm asking for a cerveza, I want a beer. And the top 10 Spanish islands visited by tourists are Ibiza, Tenerife, Mallorca, Gran Canaria, La Palma, Lanzarote, Fuerteventura, Formentera, Menorca, and La Gomera. So that's Ibiza, Tenerife, Mallorca, watch out for the water there, Gran Canaria, I'm flinching because I just wonder, I think she's about to, sorry, La Palma, Lanzarote, Fuerteventura, Formentera, Menorca, and La Gomera. Okay, so quickly tot up your scores. Let's see how you've done this evening. And whilst you're adding up, all that's left for me to say, obviously, is to look after yourselves before we see you next week. Please get creative for next Friday. Send us pictures of you dressed up in all your finery. I think we are going to, the email address to send photos to is already in the comments box. And we don't forget, it starts at 8:30 next Friday. We really hope that you have a brilliant weekend and a very happy Father's Day to all the dads that are out there. And let's get some scores. So the Humphreys are first to declare on 48. The Bradshaws on 57. The Coltises on 58. The Breretons on 52. The Rapplemoors on 58. The Mackworth Prides on 52. The Humphreys on 58. The Durcoops on 44. The Ashes on 54. The Newman Chimes is on 63. 57 for Mr. Bevan. Rhymes. Slovakovsky's leading on 64. Wilson is reading these out as well. Cordell's are on 49. The Houghtons on 59. The Milburns on 54. The Cliffs on 60. The Beasley's on 58. The Fisher's 63. Hobson's 58. The Young's on 66. I think that's a leader there. 63 for the Lockwoods, 61 for the Passmores, 55 for the Tangs. The McPhee's on 55. Mrs. Rappel on 59. The Morley's on 61. 67 for the Kennys. Some respectable scores hitting here in the 60s, I think. The Emmett's on 60. 62 for Sprog. I don't know who you are. 55 for the Weatherstones. 79 for Dr. Rosario. The Biziors are here, and they're on 60. The Milburns on 62. I think I've done that one. Bonanza on 57. The Browns on 50. The Manly Wars on, I'm going to say, a genuine 71.
That is 2 weeks on the trot.
Very, very good.
Good score.
The McCarthy's on 61. And the combined force of Carlson, Coles, and Reese's are on 69. So I think that's an honest win for the Manly Wars this evening. It's possibly a kind of a dodgy win for Dr. Rosario, but I think I'm going to award that one to the Manly Wars tonight. Thank you so much again for joining us. Do join in at 8:30 next Friday. Get dressed up, spoil yourselves, and as I said, have a great weekend. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. And that is time. Okay, the bell has rung. Off you go. Everybody out. Homes to go to now.